How many container gardeners are accidentally creating a drought layer instead of a water reserve? Most people think adding more potting mix is the answer when containers dry out too fast. But after testing dozens of container setups, I found the real secret isn't more soil. It's creating what I call a living sponge layer. And once you understand how it works, you'll use less water, grow stronger roots, and get more consistent harvests. One of the easiest ways to see whether your container is actually holding moisture properly is by checking what's happening below the surface. That's why I regularly use the Humus-Rich 4-in-1 soil moisture meter. It measures soil moisture, pH, temperature, and sunlight intensity, which helps catch problems before plants start showing stress. I'll leave the exact one I use in the description if you want to check it out. What surprised me during testing was how many containers looked moist on top but were completely dry where the roots were growing. The biggest mistake gardeners make is treating container soil like garden soil. In-ground gardens have an entire ecosystem beneath them. Earthworms, organic matter, fungal networks, and deep soil layers help regulate water movement. Containers don't have that luxury. Once water drains out, it's gone. That's why many gardeners find themselves watering every day during warm weather. The living sponge layer solves that problem by turning the bottom third of your container into a moisture buffering zone. Not a waterlogged zone. That's an important distinction. Many internet gardening tips encourage adding rocks, gravel, or broken pots to the bottom of containers. In my experience, that's some of the most misleading container advice still floating around. Here's what actually works. The living sponge layer is built with materials that absorb moisture while still allowing oxygen to move through the root zone. I like using partially decomposed compost, shredded leaf mold, aged cocoa coir, or well-finished wood fines mixed into the lower section of large containers. These materials act like miniature reservoirs that slowly release moisture back into the root zone instead of letting it drain away immediately. And there's another benefit most gardeners never notice until they compare containers side by side. The living sponge layer becomes a biological hotspot. This is where beneficial microbes multiply, organic matter breaks down, and nutrients become available over time. In several tomato and pepper containers I tested, the plants growing above a sponge layer developed noticeably thicker root systems and required less frequent watering during hot weather. Now here's where many gardeners accidentally ruin the system. Too much organic matter can create compaction. The goal is moisture storage, not mud. For most food-growing containers, I aim for roughly 1 part compost or leaf mold, 1 part cocoa coir, and 1 part aeration material such as perlite, pumice, or rice hulls in the lower section. Above that, I use my normal growing mix. That balance creates enough pore space for oxygen while still holding substantial moisture. What surprised me most during testing was how much temperature stability improved. Root systems hate sudden temperature swings. Containers sitting in direct sun can heat up quickly, especially dark-colored pots. The sponge layer acts as a thermal buffer because moist organic matter changes temperature more slowly than dry soil. This becomes especially important for crops like tomatoes, cucumbers, peppers, and eggplants. Root stress often shows up long before gardeners recognize the cause. Reduced flowering, blossom drop, nutrient deficiencies, and inconsistent fruit production can all be connected to unstable root zone conditions. And here's something even experienced gardeners overlook. The sponge layer works best when you stop watering on a schedule. Watering calendars don't know whether your container actually needs water. I've measured containers side by side where one needed water and another didn't, despite being planted on the same day with the same crop. Environmental conditions, plant size, and container placement change everything. That's where moisture monitoring becomes valuable. A quick check can prevent both overwatering and underwatering. Most root diseases in containers begin because gardeners assume instead of measuring. I've also adapted this concept for raised beds. In raised beds, I create a lower zone rich in compost and moisture-retentive organic matter while maintaining excellent drainage throughout the upper root zone. The principle is identical. Store water deeper while keeping roots supplied with oxygen. Even hydroponic growers use versions of this idea. Media such as cocoa coir and certain organic substrates function as moisture buffers that prevent rapid drying while maintaining aeration. Different systems, same biological principle. Now here's the part most gardeners discover only after a season of frustration. The living sponge layer isn't permanent. Organic matter decomposes. That's actually a good thing because decomposition feeds soil life. But it means containers should be refreshed regularly. At the start of each growing season, I add fresh compost and organic materials to rebuild that moisture holding capacity. When gardeners tell me they're watering constantly, struggling with stressed plants, or seeing disappointing yields from otherwise healthy looking containers, the root zone is often the first place I investigate. More often than not, the problem isn't fertilizer. It isn't the variety. It's poor moisture management below the surface. Creating a living sponge layer gives your plants a reserve system that works with natural biology instead of against it. Better moisture retention, healthier roots, improved microbial activity, and more resilient plants all come from understanding how water actually moves through a container. That's what separates productive container gardens from containers that constantly struggle through the season. If you found this helpful, subscribe to FarmLogic for more practical gardening techniques based on real-world testing, soil biology, and growing systems that actually deliver results. And if you know another gardener fighting dry containers and constant watering, share this video with them. The more you understand what happens below the surface, the easier it becomes to grow healthier plants and bigger harvests.